Twice in one day. You get Uncle V. This is the Uncle Vigilante channel. Let's make sure that YouTube is going to blow us out here once it goes live. Let me just double check. It's on mute. So we're good. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. It's a two for Friday. And it's a two for Gronski week, because earlier in the week, I had Christopher Gronski on. And if you didn't watch that, you have to go back. I've gotten so many positive reviews and feedback, and everybody loves him some Christopher. So tonight I have his wife, his best half, and it is Liesbeth Gronkski. Now, you may look at it. You may look at the spelling and say Liesbeth, but not me, because Uncle Vigilante cheated. And I asked before at the beginning, what in the heck is it? Lies? Is that Liesbeth or Lisbeth? And she said, no, it's Liesbeth. So Liesbeth Gronski.
I mean, it's actually.
Go ahead. I'm going to give you the floor.
Liesbeth van Lier Gronski.
Okay, we're going to leave the last part off because Uncle Vigilante's 57 and I can't remember that much. But I wanted to say, everybody, after me, 1, 2, 3, Liesbeth. Did we get it? Liesbeth, Wanderer of the Zone, is in the house. We have 3 watching. Hey, smash that like button, comment. Let me smash the like button while I'm at it. I always tell everyone to smash it, but then I never do. So I'm going to right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go to sourcetransformation.org. Sourcetransformation.org. I'm going to trust that you can spell both words. And well, let me share the screen, because I'm going to go to it right now. Let me move that and let me pull it up while you guys are waiting, while we get a few people in the house. There we go. Now, why isn't, there we go. All right. Now we're cooking with gas, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Can you see that? Liesbeth, can you see that? Can you see your
I can see it, yes.
Can you see your beautiful picture right there?
Yeah,
your beautiful profile picture. Okay.
Welcome.
This is where I can cheat. Welcome to Liesbeth van Lier's Source Transformation. How did I do?
Yeah, that's super.
Okay. Liesbeth is an expert in transformational healing and life enhancement. She integrates 30 years of study and exploration and practically applies it to her work and helps people remove anything that keeps them from realizing the life they dream of. Liesbeth works holistically in all levels. I do have a question for you later about that, and I'm going to ask it, to produce fast and lasting change in people's lives. With her gifts, talents, and experience, Liesbeth has helped her clients find the source of an issue, process, release, and transformation, and transform the issue permanently, as opposed to just coping with it. Many people say that working with Liesbeth is a life-changing experience. It makes my heart sing to be doing this work. I know this is why I'm here and what I am meant to do. And there's one more. You guys can't read it, but I can. My lifelong goal is to be interviewed by Uncle V on the Uncle Vigilante channel. So, hey, I am here to help, because this is Make-A-Wish Friday, and you got your wish. I'm interviewing you, Liesbeth. Actually, I want to share the screen one more time, because up here at the top, ladies and gentlemen, because I know all of you are going to go to sourcetransformation.org and you're going to bookmark it. You're going to see up here cryptocurrencies. Thus the connective tissue. Crypto specialty. I like this. Let me get this. All right. Liesbeth Liesbeth's crypto workshops specialize in keeping cryptos private. She also has the gift to make complicated topics simple and practical. Liesbeth, do you know it is easy to make things hard, but it is hard to make things easy. So I love what you say here. Cryptos are like television. You don't have to know everything inside. You don't have to know, how everything inside your TV works. You just have to know your remote works. I love, love, love that. I want to look at one more thing called crypto workshops here.
Yeah.
And this, okay, everybody knows. Okay, let me stop share because I want to look to you in the eye. Everybody knows that my channel started just over a year ago, and it was dedicated to newbies. Because frankly, I didn't know shit about crypto, but I was intent on learning. And I decided to put my discovery on display publicly. And that's where I began. And the journey took me through subscribing to different newsletters, to being in portfolios of 25 plus coins, to going down a path to where privacy coins were really, really important to me, to going through some pump and dumps because people told me what to do, to figuring out how to ask questions myself, think for myself, to then ultimately discovering Max Freeman and Epic Cash, to then pivoting to where, but my channel's pretty much about Epic Cash right now. But I love me some privacy.
Yeah.
And I love, love, love those who have a heart for the crypto newbie. So, Liesbeth, that is you. You have the heart for the crypto newbie.
I do.
and you within your, if people go to sourcetransformation.com, and I'm ultimately going to put these when the video renders in the links, you have the ability to take the cookies from the top shelf, that really out of reach top shelf, bring them down to an accessible shelf to where people can grab them and just chomp, 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 chomp a little bit. And I love that. I love that. I love that about you. And I love that about your value prop. So that is my tee up for you. Now I would like to hand it over to you to be able to please give us a better backstory than I ever could about you, what you offer, and let's just get it on. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Well, let's start with me. Well, you already learned a little bit through my website about me. I'm a holistic life coach, and one of the things that are important for people's lives is money, obviously, and so I learned about cryptos I'm not exactly sure, it was 2016 or 17. Anyway, so I was at a Freedom Festival here in New Hampshire. Let me start my. I have a PowerPoint, so that's easier for people to follow. Let me see. I have to share.
While you pull that up, I just want to welcome some folks to the show. Wanderer of the Zone, Jeff R. Howdy, y'all. Hersey Henderson. Do I have that right? Deborah Roberta. And then there's this Uncle Vigilante dude in there. Hey, Uncle Vigilante. Love your name. Okay, here we go. Can everybody see the PowerPoint here?
Let me get,
there. Oh, I love this. Okay, great.
I like to work with a PowerPoint because then I don't forget things and I stay on track. Otherwise, I fly all over the place.
I appreciate that.
So let's start at the beginning. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. What the bleep is that? A lot of people think that cryptos are very technical and complicated and nerdy. And yes, they are, and they can be. You can make it as difficult as you want. but I like to keep things simple. So that's why I started to do these talks, and I have a workshop for people to start in cryptos. So before I start, I'm not a financial advisor, so you're completely responsible what you do with your cryptos in the future or now. I just teach you what I did myself, or what I learned, or what I shouldn't have done.
Right.
So in 2016 or 17, I'm not sure, we were at this, no, it was 2015. We were at this freedom, there's called the Porcupine Festival here in New Hampshire. It's a freedom festival. And I was there, and they had this blow up Bitcoin tent, and I felt very much pulled towards it.
Wow.
But there was so much stuff going on, so I didn't go. I got distracted. And the next year, same thing happened again. I wanted to go in that tent, and eventually I didn't go. And that was a bummer, because Bitcoin was $54 at that moment. Because I looked it up at the date that I was there, and it was $54. So,
okay, stand by, stop. I got it, and you'll get used to this. I am called Uncle Interrupter. So
okay,
if it was
no
the
problem.
second year, $54, that first year, what would it have been, do you think?
Well, it went up, and then it went down again, because I looked at the graphs.
Okay.
And at that point that I was there, it was $54. So
Okay,
that's
so the year before it,
bad.
the year before it went up, and then it came back down,
Yeah.
right? So everybody out there who's freaking out that Epic Cash is at $2 now when it hit an all-time high of 685, just remember this story, that there were people who were like crushed that Bitcoin was $54.
Yeah.
They were crushed because, oh, thank God I never got into it at $150. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. $54 now. Okay, sorry.
No, that's fine. No problems. So anyway, but I did have a friend who did have wallets. He explained it a little bit to me, and that was, he had helped me set up a wallet, and I bought my first $20 of cryptos. So
Okay.
Bitcoin, actually. But what happened was, I'm not sure if it was straight after that, but I'm the type of person, and that happened also with my holistic work that I did, is that when I see something that grabs me, I get kind of crazy about it, and I start researching it like 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So that happened with cryptocurrencies as well. And what happened was that I learned, and I got excited, and I was telling people how great it was. And then I noticed that even here in the freedom community in New Hampshire, everybody has cryptos, everybody pays each other with cryptos. I noticed that they do a lot of things that they didn't know a lot of things that I was telling them. And I also had friends that start asking me to help them set them up. And that's how my
consultancy started?
My workshops started. And I remember my first workshop was 2 full days, and I saw everybody's head exploding. So,
Wow.
I changed that completely. And now I have my beginners workshop, depending on the amount of people and the questions, is between 2 and 3 hours. And then I have a privacy workshop where I teach people a protocol, because a lot of people think that cryptos are private, and that's not true at all.
No.
Except for the privacy coins, but still. Yeah, so I have a process, a protocol that I've developed, where you can, if you already have cryptos, you can privatize your cryptos, or if you want to buy cryptos, how to buy them with a credit card, but privatized them.
Okay.
So that's my second workshop that I have. So
That's a big deal. That's a big
And-
deal.
yeah, for especially with everything that's going on. And
Okay, let's stop. Can you stop screen sharing real quick so you and I can talk?
Yeah, but you can talk with me anyway. You want me to stop?
I just want them to see you and me talk here. That's all.
Okay.
Hold on.
Let's see how that works.
We'll go back. There should be a stop screen share.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
Okay. So I want to look you in the eye.
Okay.
Look the audience in the eye.
Yeah.
Our friends in the chat. And I want to have a talk. You referenced, especially with what's happening now. Let's unpack that a little bit. Liesbeth, what is happening now that people should be concerned of who may be just tuning into mainstream news, maybe worshiping at the altar of Netflix? Let's help people critically think here. What is happening now?
A lot.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is that they're taking away our freedom.
Who is taking away our freedom?
The deep state.
Yeah, I don't know why I lost my chat. Let me see something. Hold on. Sorry. I want to just see. I feel like I lost my chat. Are we still live streaming?
I don't know. It looks like it's live on YouTube. It says here on my picture.
It's live. Okay. This is just so weird to me, guys. I'm not seeing. Sorry, I just want to see. Let's pop out chat. Okay, I popped out chat. Okay, screw that. I'm sorry. Apparently, we're still live streaming, so that's good. And I'm not going to freak out about it. So I'm not going to pop out the chat. So guys, sorry if I'm not going to be very attentive to you in the chat, but as long as we're live streaming and I can see Liesbeth, then we're good. Okay. So I'm sorry, I digressed. What is going on right now? I mean, let me lead the witness a little bit, but there is a protest, a peaceful protest in Canada right now, to where because of the mandates and what I would submit would be extreme government overreach worldwide about something demic that at this level is just absolutely silly and ridiculous that the mandates are what they are. It is quite obvious what is going on, which is the powers that be are literally making their move to ultimately initiate control over all of us, to where they are wanting to require you to make medical interventions on yourself and your children that are quite unnecessary and proven unuseful. You know what I'm
dangerous.
You know what dangerous. You know what I'm talking about. So there are one of the countries that has been most adversely affected with these draconian mandates has been our northern friends in Canada. Heart goes out to those in Australia.
And Australia as well.
In Australia and New Zealand as well. Heart goes out to you. But we know what you're going through. But what is so cool is that there is a contingent of truck drivers that just decided, enough is enough. And they decided to have a peaceful movement to be able to get a convoy to drive to I believe it's Alberta, to where the Druid Babylonian bastard in charge is holed up, or actually I think he left like a little sissy wussy, and he's not there. But they are literally pulling themselves together with an orchestrated demonstration that is entirely peaceful, and they are going to actually just all drive in a convoy to the Capitol or whatever, the Parliament, that what they call it. Now, with that, these big-hearted people, they risk not getting paid because they're not doing their day jobs. They risk perhaps losing their jobs because maybe their employers are under the spell of the Druid Babylonian bastards. And so these people that are doing this, what has happened is the people of Canada have woken up and they are out in droves. They are on the side of the roads with gas, with food, with showers set up, with just everything to be able to support these amazingly brave truck drivers. And then someone set up a GoFundMe. It ended up with $10 million to be able to go support these people. And I tee it up to you, Liesbeth. What happened?
They took that $10 million and they blocked it. And what I've heard last is that everybody's going to get back the money. The news, the regular news, tries to make it smaller than it is, but there are, they say there's 100,000, but there's 200,000 trucks there in Ottawa and everywhere, and there is 2 million people that are supporting that join them. Plus, these are the latest numbers that I've heard, and there are. Also, the farmers have joined them up, but also now there are convoys starting up in France, in Australia, in New Zealand, and also next month there's one going from California here to Washington. So there's a lot of stuff going on everywhere, and that's going to grow. I mean, people are sick of what's going on, so yeah.
People are sick of what's going on now. Let me tell you the rest of the story. Then there was another, shoot, what is it called? Like another competitor to GoFundMe, to where they started that, and they raised more money. Now, here's what happened. They started raising money to where people could donate using Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And so what has happened now? Everyone, please listen to me. Please listen to me, because Bitcoin is not a private cryptocurrency. It is a surveillance coin. The way you get Bitcoin, unless you've gone through probably your course, the way you get Bitcoin is you go to an exchange like Coinbase or something other, and you go through the KYC process and you attach it to your bank account. Okay. So now those people, I may have a big heart. And I have some big Bitcoin, and I'm like, you know what? I am not in Canada, nor if I were in Canada, would I be out on the side of the road, because I live in Florida. And if I go out in anything under 50-degree weather, I freeze up like a popsicle and I'll die. That's just me. I'm just saying, that's just me. So you can, it's a physical disability that I have. I have an awareness accessory that says I cannot go outside under 50 degrees or I will break and die. But there are those who, so I'm the one who would say, hey, I want to support these guys. I see I can donate with Bitcoin. I'm donating with Bitcoin. Now, guess what? The Druid Babylonian bastards in charge, who are surveilling your Bitcoin, now in Canada, they have drafted this new law that is called the Emergencies Act. Emergencies plural, because one emergency is not enough. Is one is good, two is better. This Emergencies Act, where they are declaring that these truck drivers, this peaceful protest, is an act of terrorism. So you supporting these terrorists, now your Bitcoin is frozen and your bank account that is associated with it through the Coinbase or whatever is frozen, and they can seize your freaking assets. Please wait.
They cannot get to the Bitcoin unless somebody gives them the code. That is just, they can't, but they can freeze your bank account if they see that there are transfers.
Very good.
But they cannot get to your Bitcoin.
Very good qualification. Thank you very much.
Because that is their big fear. There are some videos on YouTube which are hilarious. There is a fear of the government that everybody's going to buy cryptos, and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, but the fact is, now you are in the seat right now, because those who are watching know this channel is about Epic Cash, and Epic Cash is, and I know that you don't know much about it, but Epic Cash is HTTPS Bitcoin. So when the internet started and it was just HTTP, you wouldn't want to do a lot of financial transactions because it was not secure. Just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not secure. It is surveilled. These Druid Babylonian bastards, this is a case study in why Bitcoin is not the answer, because they can surveil it, they can find you, and they can see, and they can through their power, they can ultimately freeze your bank account. So that's only possible because they can see what is on the blockchain. With Epic Cash, yet no, they cannot tell. There's no data on the blockchain. It is HTTPS. It is private. It is secure. And that's very, very important. And I know that after tonight, you and I talk pregame, we're going to get you on with Max and myself, and we're going to walk through this, because I really, really want you to be able to help your community understand the difference, because this is serious right now. And for me right now, this is like a case study in why Epic Cash, full stop.
But also, there is a good thing going on with, because everybody's focused on all the bad stuff, and there is a lot of bad stuff going on. I mean, but the good things is that people are becoming aware of what is going on. They're not taking it anymore. And because of this, people are going to go into cryptocurrencies, so there's going to be a growth in that because of this whole thing going on.
Well, unless the TV hypnotizes everyone, because the power of the TV.
Yeah.
I'd say probably, it seems, I hate to even say this, is probably generous, but I think probably 95% of the people out there get their downloads from mainstream television. So whatever the mainstream television says about crypto is what they're going to believe. And so they're going to tell us, they're going to tell everybody, crypto bad, crypto going to get you in trouble, crypto boogeyman.
Yeah, but people don't believe them anymore, because these channels are a lot of them not. The thing is this, there are, I'm not sure if it was 20 or 30%. 20 or 30% of the people, you are never going to change them. They are set. They don't want to look at what's going on. They all go for the shots. They follow like sheeple. They like lemming. They will go over a cliff if that's said to them. They just lost. Then there is 20%, I think. 20-30% of the people are totally awake. They are awake, they know what's going on, and those people in the middle, that's the ones we need to reach to make them aware what's going on, and they will come to our side. That's kind of like what's going on in the world. But the first 20-30%, they're just lost. You can't change their minds,
Yeah, I love your optimism. I'm very cynical about your percentages, though, because I've witnessed it. I witnessed it in my own family. It's just like the mainstream narrative is so powerful. It is so powerful. I mean, it is so powerful. It is just not only that, but then you have, Hollywood and the programming on Netflix and Amazon Prime, and you just start watching all of that. And if you lack the capacity, the cynical capacity of critical thought, then you're not going to see through any of this. You are just going to be that said lemming, right? So that's why I think this trucker peaceful protest is so damned powerful, and it is becoming its own good virus being spread across the world. And I pray to God Almighty that it succeeds, because I think maybe, just maybe, it might be effective. Maybe the Druid Babylonian bastards in charge may start realizing that, holy crap, there's a whole lot more of them than us. And you are right, Liesbeth, they are starting to stop what? Starting to stop watching MSN. And when they do, when they turn their freaking television off, the spell can be broken. So anyone watching out there who believes one freaking word on that freaking television, if you just stop watching, you will magically find this reality, that there are two realities. One that they're trying to tell you on the TV successfully, but then the other, if you shut that shit off, there's the other part, which is what's happening in your operating reality. Go look around. Sorry, little lamp. Go look around. Look at all the beautiful people out there. Look at the fact that you go to your grocery stores, and ever since this pandemic started, you see the same people who are checking you out. You do not see these memorials at the front of the grocery stores honoring all of the fallen ones of the grocery store. Nobody thinks about that. These are the people who have been in the most contact with the boogie virus, and they're not dying. They haven't died. They continue to service you. So just use your little noggin once in a while, okay? And please, please, please recognize you're under a spell from the news. And if you stop watching that shit, bam, you will wake up. And I'm sorry, I just feel in the preach mode tonight, because I don't know, you bring it out of me. I don't know why, but it's
gosh.
No, this is my Uncle Odd days. This is what took me from nothing to 10,000 subscribers. It was just started to talk about it. And I don't know this. I'll probably get a strike for this video. I don't know, but I just feel like we're at this tipping point to where if people just start waking up and realize, when you put that thing over your face and you're breathing in your own carbon dioxide, do you know the number one hospital admission right now is bacterial pneumonia? Bacteria. You know why? Because when people eat, and when they eat, there's bacteria in your mouth. Sorry, I'm going to go there, but they take a shit. They take a shit in your mouth. Okay. Now, when you are breathing out all day long and you have a catcher's mitt of that bacteria shit in your mask, then when you breathe back in, you have to breathe harder than you normally would to be able to get oxygen, because your brain is smart. It says you're not getting enough oxygen because you're breathing in your own CO2. So when you breathe it in, that extra force, it releases some of that bacteria shit that's in the mask, and it goes right into your lungs. So that's why people are getting bacterial pneumonia. Now, I know I'm going to get a STRIKE now. So everyone, if I do, then please be patient. I'll be back in a week. But
I'll come back with my crypto presentation.
Yeah. Okay. That is right on cue. Okay, enough about my pontificating. Let's get back into your PowerPoint. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
I'm embarrassed.
It's good that you
I just am so passionate. I just needed
the
to
reason what I do was like, if I, especially in the beginning when I woke up, I was like on the online, like I couldn't stop. But then I felt how my energy was changing, and that is a bad thing for you. So what I do now is I know what's going on, and I can recognize when something is a false flag or it's a lie or something like that. I watch 1 or 2 videos about it. I listen to the good news, as far as we can determine that. And then I let it go, because if you are so stressed over it, that's very unhealthy for you, and you get just as sick as from the stress in your system. So that's not a good thing. So I would recommend everybody, when you hear something, have a look at it and then just let it go, because you can only change things around you in your own, or you go to these rallies, of course, but you can't really do much about what's going on, although a lot of people have changed the world with things. But it's, if you are constantly in this stress situation, this anger, this upsetness, it's very unhealthy for your system. So yeah, I would not recommend that.
So what you're saying is health can become a little bit psychosomatic, right? To where if you're just out of sorts all the time or whatever, it can impact your health.
Yeah, and don't agree with don't listen to what they say. Like my husband Christopher and I, we have not worn a mask once in these last 2 years. We have not. So we go to the supermarket, this kid stands out the door and said, you have to wear a mask. And we say, okay, we know. And we just keep on walking, we just like we're crazy, Christopher one time went into a hotel and they talked about a mask, and he said, a mask? A pandemic? What is that? What is the last thing that was on this earth?
Told me that.
And we would just, I go into the supermarket and I use the car to go into the supermarket, and I go right opposite into the into the arrows that are there, and I and I would just smile at everybody like
that is one thing. I shared with your husband on our live stream. I have 2 go-tos when people, because I too have never worn one. My first one is, it's okay, I'm in the control group. And that just kind of goes over people's heads. And the second one is, what? And deprive you of this smile?
Yeah.
And those two, that was the combo. And you know what, people? Well, most people who I said I'm with the control group just didn't understand it. Not even enough to laugh. The second one, they would laugh or whatever. But it is crazy that through all of that period of time, I think I was the only smiling face that these people had ever seen. And it was just because I rejected the programming, So anyway, okay, back to your presentation.
Okay, let's go find where the thing is. How do
we're getting a good group of people in the chat. Hey, everyone. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Jeff. Hey, FOMO Bird. You guys are awesome. Lydia, love you, Lydia. We love you, Lydia. You are just the best. Okay, here we go again.
There we go.
And why?
So right here, we've talked about that.
And while you bring this up, I'm going to go off camera because my teleprompter screwed up and I need to fix it. But I can still hear you.
Okay. So let's start with a little bit of history. The Bitcoin started, it was the first coin, and it started in the cypherpunk movement that computer nerds wanted to change the world through code. So they wanted to keep private financial matters from people, and they wanted to do that with Bitcoin. The creator of Bitcoin is named Satoshi Nakamoto, but nobody knows who that is. Some people think it's a person or a group of people. What is known is that the more people have helped him, nerds, they would go in these groups, and he would send out the protocol, and they would all put their minds on that, and that's how Bitcoin started. In 2008, the white paper was published. A white paper is it's kind of a business plan. So it says who is working on it, what is the protocol. There are timelines on there, who works on it. I said that already. What problem they solve, all that kind of stuff is in the white paper. And every crypto has a white paper. Well, most have them. If they don't have a white paper, I wouldn't go for it. So I wouldn't buy it. So the first Bitcoin transaction was to Hal Finney. And he was a helper of Satoshi. So he got the first Bitcoin. Now, on the 22nd of May, and this is a famous story, there was the first real world transaction was done. And that was done by a man in Jacksonville, Laszlo I can never pronounce that properly, Laszlo Hyanks. And he bought 2 pizzas in Jacksonville in Florida for 10,000 Bitcoin. I mean, that was like amazing. Bitcoin is very volatile. Like I said in the beginning, that 1 year it was like over $200. And then the next year, when I didn't look at it again, it was $54. So that's quite a bit up and down. And then in October, these are just a couple of examples. In October 2009, you could buy 1,309 Bitcoin for $1. And in 2011, Bitcoin was $1. And now Bitcoin, at the moment, it's around 40,000, but it has been 65,000. That was the highest number that Bitcoin was, around 65,000 for 1 Bitcoin.
And that was back, what, in May, I think?
I
think it was May.
Yeah, it could be. I'm not so good at.
I think that's when the balloon popped.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter. See, the thing that people think, oh, that's crazy, and you don't lose money if you don't sell. So I always say that to people: hold on. It'll go back up again, because there are expectations that Bitcoin's going to be 100,000, 500,000, 1 million. And further in this, you can understand why that is. Further in my presentation, I'll talk a bit more about that. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a worldwide digital payment system. Now, there is a misconception about Bitcoin because it's called coin, that it actually is a coin. And when you see pictures about Bitcoin, then they show you a coin, a gold coin with a B on it. And what that is you can buy these coins in certain places, and they have codes on it. And these codes you can put in your wallet. So it's like a gift to somebody. You can give them some Bitcoin, and they can take the code and put it in the wallet, and they have some Bitcoin then. So that's where that misconception comes from. But it's a digital payment system. There's no authority or organization. Nobody's in control or is in charge. And the government's very worried about this because more and more people start using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. and they cannot do anything about it. There are stories like there was a guy who was arrested, and I think he stole Bitcoin. Now, I'm not for that at all, of course. And the police arrested him and he went to jail, but they couldn't get to the Bitcoin because he didn't give them the code and they couldn't find the code. Now, there are stories like there was a couple that was in the newspaper or somewhere, because of course the regular news tries to scare people away from cryptocurrencies because, you know, they don't really want people to have that. Although there is pros and cons for them, because if everybody buys Bitcoins and everybody buys coins with credit card and bank accounts, people can, the government or the whoever can trace those coins. Yeah, and they, so that's, but if people start using the privacy coins, then they can't track them anymore. And they are worried about that, you know, so anyway, so what is it? It is a collection of computers that use the network. So, like for instance, Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a network of all sorts of people who have a computer, and they have a wallet, as they call it, and that's how they connect that whole network of Bitcoin users with each other. And that means they can all do transactions with each other. It's an
hey Liesbeth,
yeah.
Can I ask you a question? One that got me early on.
Yeah.
And I know this is, if you're not prepared, you probably are, but if you're not prepared for it, that's fine. But starting at the most basic level, how would you describe what is a blockchain? Oh
gosh. Well, I you have to do my class because I actually have a visual for the blockchain, and then it makes you understand. I explain that.
Okay.
It's a ledger. It's a ledger that has all the transactions from all the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency users, and not everyone, but like Bitcoin has its own blockchain. So it's kind of a ledger that keeps all the transactions from the Bitcoin.
Tell me if I have this kind of right. I understand an Excel spreadsheet. So if I created an Excel spreadsheet in my mind that had 21 million cells, and that was all there would ever be, and that's all that there ever are going to be. And that is the blockchain. And as people mine, they are filling in the cells. They are claiming them. They are cracking the code to each cell. Now, once those cells are cracked and expose a Bitcoin, then the proprietor of that discovered cell are able to sell that Bitcoin to another party. But the blockchain or the ledger or the spreadsheet will forevermore be able to keep track of, if I sold one of my cells or Bitcoins to you, the whole network would be able to verify and validate that that was a good and true transaction within that giant Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. Well, I show you in the class. You make it a lot more difficult than it is.
Okay, great.
Spreadsheets and
all right. But I want to take your class.
Yeah. So because I'm like, keep it simple, you know, because
right.
It's not necessary to go that. The only thing you need to know is that Bitcoin, the maximum of Bitcoin that's ever going to be there is 21 million. But already, see what happened in the past when this new Bitcoin came out. What happened at parties? People would talk about. They set up wallets. People would buy 10. You know, if you know that you could buy 1,309 Bitcoin for $1, they say, here, give me $10 worth, you know, and these 13,000 cryptos would go in this wallet, and they were drunk or stoned or whatever, never brought down anything. So it's estimated that there's only 16 to 17,000 cryptos. And also, and I teach people that in my class, like for instance, I have a neighbor who has a friend, and the boyfriend of that friend died, and she knew he had a ton of Bitcoin, and she has no clue where the codes are. So they're lost in space. And that is, I teach that in my class. You have to watch the codes. If you lose the codes, you lose your Bitcoin or whatever crypto you have. So I teach people how to look after these codes and how to do all that. So, and how important that is. So that's why a lot of Bitcoin we're talking about now get lost, you know. So I always tell people, you can talk about it, but don't do transactions or things on parties, you know, because who is going to write down these codes at a party? That most
good point.
You know. And then people don't even know that they have to do that, some people. So those are really important things. And those are basic things that you need to know. See, when people do my basic class, after that, they can make it as difficult as they want. They can start trading, they can start God knows what they want to do, technical. So I am not a technical person, so I'm not teaching that because I get lost myself. So, but that's not necessary, you know. It's like I said, I don't need to know what's in the TV, all the cables, and God knows what's in there. I know how my remote works, and that's all I need to know. And if I want to explore more, holy cow, you can do that 24/7, you know? There's so much out there, and it has grown hugely since I've been in cryptos, because I don't even follow everything. It's just impossible. It's just too much.
So bottom line with your course, for those watching, you're able to onboard. So if people think about the cryptocurrency superhighway, you are a nice little on-ramp to be able to just start, to be able to get people in their car, safely drive up. You're on the other side. There's a sticker on back, new driver on board, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is that if you go to the supermarket or whatever, we always make kind of a game of that, and we go to a shop and we say, do you take Bitcoin or do you take cryptos? Bitcoin most of the time. And most people don't even know what that is. And some of them have heard wild stories and they still have no clue, because they give you answers which is totally ridiculous. And so most people don't know. So this presentation that I'm doing now with you here really is to show people what Bitcoin is, or cryptocurrencies, the basic, so they can make a decision that if it's something for them or not. And then after that, the step is to do my basic class workshop. And in that workshop, I repeat some of the things in here. We go a little bit further in there. I set up a wallet with them. We walk through the wallet. I tell them how to look after, how to buy, all those basic things. And then the second workshop that I have, that workshop is to privatize your coins, because I think that's super important, because people think it's all anonymous, and it's not anonymous. And in the beginners workshop, I tell them that it's not anonymous and how you can buy anonymous. And the second one is the protocol to make things anonymous, because the coin's anonymous, because a lot of people have bought coins with bank accounts, credit cards, ID, any kind of ID, telephone number, or anything like that. If you ever bought cryptos like that, they are not anonymous. You're traceable. And the worst thing of all is everybody after you is traceable as well.
Right, right. So there's a way of getting your crypto off the grid, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
that's important.
So, yeah, and I've not seen a workshop anywhere else, and I wasn't realizing that, but Christopher told me that, you have a special class because you do all this, you make it easy and private, and that's really is what my workshops do. So
Yeah, 100%. That's awesome.
yeah. So where were we? So this collection of computers, they all have an app, and they connect all these computers together, and they can do transactions with each other. Now they're a network of anonymous users. It looks like it's anonymous, but I show that in my second workshop as well, what that looks like. So if you look at the transaction, it has all numbers and letters, and yes, there's no name. But as soon as you attach a credit card in front of that with a name, from that moment on, there are computer systems. I don't know if they already have them, but who can track your, connect your transactions with that particular name or address.
Mm-hmm.
It's a peer-to-peer network. So that means there's nobody in the middle involved, no banks or anything. So there is a little fee, but it's a low fee, except at the moment, Bitcoin and Ethereum have higher fees. And then and they're a little slow. So I don't think those coins are going to be to buy a coffee at Starbucks with. That's not going to happen.
Not back in May when it was $63 to be able to send a BTC transaction, no matter how big, and it took an hour to do so. So have I ever shared anything about Epic Cash and how it's designed? one day we will. We are fast. And our blockchain is only 2 gigabytes. It can be held on your your cell phone, which is why we are going to be introducing mobile mining. So imagine being able to mine on your cell phone, and the transactions happen boom, like that. I will show you once you set up your Epic wallet, like I asked you.
I'll look into it. Yeah. I want to waited 2 days for a Bitcoin transaction, and I have to say that's pretty nerve-wracking. To be
you're gonna feel a nerve wrack beyond belief when it takes me 2 seconds to send some Epic Cash to you. Sorry for the wait.
That's okay. No, but there are other coins that are a lot faster and a lot cheaper. So, but those two are not. So.
Yeah, no, they aren't, and you can surveil both of them.
There are a lot of people who say, I said, oh, you should buy some cryptos and Bitcoin. Have you heard of that? And they say to me, no, I cannot afford $60,000 to $40,000 for Bitcoin. But these people don't know that there's fractions. Like if you look at the bottom one Satoshi is a millionth of a Bitcoin. So that means if Bitcoin is $1 million, that means that you can, for $1, still buy some Bitcoin. So so it's not that you have to invest this huge amount of this huge amount of money for one coin. So you can start with a couple of pennies if you want, and that's how I started. Because I didn't have a lot of money, so I buy $10 or $20 worth of cryptos, and that's how I started. And some of them worked and some of them didn't, and I don't mind because I didn't put a lot of money in it. So So we live in very interesting times because the old systems, they are crumbling. As we know, the banks and the government, they're not doing very well at the moment. I don't know what that's going to look like after all this, but we also were heading for a depression, and the dollar is going to disappear because you can't just keep printing dollars and dollars and think that's all going to be okay.
Why not? Why not? Venezuela did it.
Yeah, I have some pictures of that in this presentation, so you see what happened there. So, but we have cryptos instead, so that's going to be cool. So cryptos are the new, well, they are probably are going to be the new money worldwide. The phone's going here. That's probably Christopher not realizing I'm talking with you anyway. So, so also it's a new way in investing in businesses. Like for instance, if you buy stock in from the stock exchange for what am I talking? It's businesses, you can buy stock from a business. And the difference between buying stock or cryptos is that with stock, you own a piece of the business. With cryptos, that's not the case. With cryptos, what you do is you invest in the idea that they put out. Do you like what the problem they're solving? Do you see future in that? And that's what you invest in, and hope that other people like that idea too. And that's how cryptos are a way of investing.
So cryptos, in essence, you're saying, are community based, to where for a crypto to succeed, there needs to be a community that ultimately agrees to the efficacy or the utility of that cryptocurrency. Yes.
Yeah, and you look if the team that's backing it, if that is a solid team, if they know what they're doing. You look at a lot of different things.
I would say
everything.
If memory serves from my shitcoin trials, you have to look at the utility purpose. What problem does it solve? Is there an added utility with blockchain? With the blockchain, like with Library and Odyssey, who is the team? You're correct. What's the leadership, the dev team, the corporate structure? The marketing is important to be able to determine the adoption and the supply control, right? The market cap, the liquidity.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Was there a pre-mine, any capital raised by investors? The terms, was there a business entity established to monetize a protocol? What else? The team, is there any lockup period on the coins? If there's a CEO,
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and there are other ways to make it a little simpler. As
right. And think about it. If there's a CEO and the CEO gets censored or arrested, who maintains the code base? But yeah, and then you have to look at the community, the Telegram, Discord, and so there's all of that goes into discerning whether or not there's an investable coin.
Yeah,
and that is cryptocurrency. So I think you nailed it.
Yeah, and but the like for instance, a community is very important. Like for instance, I bought $10 worth of Dogecoin in, I think, 2017, somewhere around there, just for the heck of it, because I was like, but this was my thought about it. $10, I can't even buy a lottery ticket for that. I don't know how much lottery tickets cost. I'm going to do this because I was curious, because Dogecoin was set up by somebody who liked a particular dog, and there was nothing behind it it was a joke. So I thought, okay, let's see how this is going to run. So I bought $10 worth of Dogecoin. It's worth thousands of dollars, and the reason is because they have a community that's behind there,
right?
And also that dog what is based on a dog is a favorite dog in Japan. So if you see that crypto's gonna pop, and Japan is gonna pop, then the chance is a big chance that people are going to invest in Dogecoin and that it still goes up a little bit. But my $10 is now worth a couple of $1,000. So
Good
it's
for
just,
you for being an early adopter.
yeah, but also an early adopter. There were ICOs, as they call them. I bought a lot of ICOs that were
All of them are dead.
Yes. So I mean, there's only a couple that are doing good, but I mean,
Yeah, that's
and
why.
those some of these ICOs are still moving, but they're worth so little that I
Yeah,
don't even bother to sell them. It's
they're
not
never
worth
going to
it.
come back to life. They're done. They're done.
Yeah.
They're dead on arrival. And anybody who doesn't understand ICOs and how they were born of sin, please watch today's Epic Cash live. Max Freeman goes through the history of cryptocurrency and the future, and why the future depends on the history. Those who did not have the vision to play 5D chess are going to lose. If you had an ICO, you're a loser. You're dead. Put a fork in you. That's why I love Max Freeman, because he built Epic Cash defensively. He had the world's worst, nastiest, you can't stand him, hate him, attorney beat Epic Cash up before it was ever born. And finally, Max outlasted him and said, okay, all right, you said if I did these 100 things, you would kill me in 2 years. But now are we good? After I changed X, Y, and Z, and the attorney finally said, you're good. And then we were born. Watch today's noon show, please.
Yeah, so, but I'm really happy I didn't invest a lot in all these ICOs.
Good.
And it was a lesson, you know, and some of them popped. So some of the coins I bought popped, and you know, so.
Great.
Anyway, so now this is why cryptocurrencies. Well, first of all, you have your own bank in your pocket. You can go anywhere you want, and you can pay anybody. There are no fees and limitations from banks. Like, for instance, when WikiLeaks was asking for donations, banks blocked donations towards WikiLeaks. So they can't do that with cryptocurrencies. That's why these truckers, they need to get donations in cryptocurrencies, and then of course get people who wants to sell them product in cryptocurrencies.
Correction.
I mean,
they need to get donations in private cryptocurrencies, because if they do it with these surveillance coins, then your freaking bank account is going to be frozen.
Yeah, you're right.
We have to make sure the narrative is the right one, because unless people start getting the fact that private cryptos are the only game in town, then you're going to lose. You're going to lose people. Yeah, no, that's true. But I mean, banks block people who want to pay certain people, certain countries, certain institution, and it's none of their business who I want to spend my money with, you know. So and that what happened with WikiLeaks too. So that's ridiculous. No, it's peer-to-peer, so there's no middleman. He takes a piece of the action, like banks. They take a lot of money. I mean, there's such high fees. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know. When you see what you have to pay for a transaction, for instance, with what's that thing called, PayPal. I take my money in with PayPal, my fees, and I have to pay like $15 worth of transaction fees. And guess what? You probably haven't been as honest with your feelings as you want to be, because you probably have self-censored, because those who haven't self-censored don't have a PayPal account anymore, because PayPal shuts down anybody with a dissenting opinion to the mainstream narrative.
Oh, really?
And I mean, my goodness gracious. That's what people don't understand. They watch their TV, they take their downloads, and then they don't look for alternative news. Now, when they go to seek it these days, over the past 2 years, all of the alternative news has been censored. And the people who are the proprietors of that kind of information have lost their income because PayPal, GoFundMe, all of these, they shut them down because they're saying something that's against MSN. Sorry.
Okay, so cryptos are decentralized. So what does that mean? That's like the internet. Everybody uses the internet, but nobody's in charge of the internet. And that is the same with cryptocurrencies. And you can do transactions all over the world for pennies, and you can do that fast. So, more wise. So it's very interesting to get cryptocurrencies because of all the wise. You can become financially independent and create generational wealth or a pension, or maybe you are in a job that you don't like. You have a lot of possibilities with buying cryptos to build a quickly a financial buffer for yourself and become independent. Now, here in New Hampshire, but I'm sure in other places, people, they live off, there are people who live off cryptos, they get paid in cryptos, and they buy houses and cars with crypto. So now, when you set yourself up in the beginning properly, you can maintain privacy. So that's what we've been already saying. People think it's private, but it's not unless you set yourself up in a certain way. Now we're heading for a huge depression, bigger than in 1913. Now what's interesting is I would highly recommend everybody to prepare and fast, because already a lot of supermarkets don't have enough stock. Now with the truckers thing, 25% of all the goods, international goods, come through that bridge that they're blocking now. So that's going to have an also
supply chain issues. Yeah.
And also all these boats that they won't let in. So it's going to be a disaster. And I highly recommend people to prepare with not just gold and silver, because you can't eat that. I wouldn't buy gold anyway, it's too expensive. I would get silver because that has a lot of industrial properties as well. So probably if the money is not there anymore, silver will probably be go up in percentage wise higher than gold. But buy food and seeds and water filtration, anything that you need, fire, to prepare yourself.
Figure out how to create your own fire.
Yeah, get a list online with prepare for a disaster and try. And if you don't have a lot of money, just buy a couple of things every week. Everything you have is helpful.
And may I insert something here that I think a lot of preppers don't necessarily do or understand, but most of us are dog lovers or cat lovers or pet lovers.
Yeah.
And please consider your pets too when you're thinking about end of the world scenarios.
Yeah, no, but that's true
as well.
Pets, entertainment for yourself, if you some kind of a solar generator or something. So
do you know what I did? Here's a little hint from Heloise. So, and I think this is so smart, and I never hear anybody talking about this. So I'm a prepper, everyone. When the shit hits the fan, you want to come to Uncle V's house. No, actually, you don't.
Don't do that.
because you don't want to meet my German Shepherd Zeus. But I will tell you that the one thing that I thought about, I bought these 8-ounce canning jars, right? The glass ones, right? The preservative jars. There's a name for them. And then I bought like gosh, I can't remember how many. I think I have like probably 100 of these little 8-ounce jars. And then I went and bought a bunch of Everclear, and I put 8 ounces of Everclear in each one, and I closed them tight. And I have them in my in this set of drawers underneath my printer. Now, why do I have that? Well, if you think about if the shit really hit the fan and the ATMs were gone and you couldn't get money and you couldn't go buy food, you know, if you hadn't been a prepper, if you hadn't thought about a store of food, well, what do you have with that 8 ounces of Everclear alcohol? First of all, it can get you really drunk. So there's probably a lot of depressed people at that point in time that just want to get shit-faced. So there you go. You're welcome. Thank you, Uncle V. That'll be worth, you know, a half a cow, sir. The other thing is, it is an amazing fire starter. So people don't think about how do you start a fire. Watch all those TV shows and watch them doing the little sticks, rubbing them together. Screw that, man. Let's store up on some liquid lighter fuel in my prepper room, right? And if I have a bunch of if I have some of these 8-ounce jars, I can put a little bit of those on some wood and just throw a little match and poof, I'm in business. Now we're cooking with not gas, but we're cooking.
Yeah, but what you can also make from Everclear is you can make tinctures from it, like medicine tinctures. So if you need medicine, so you put the plants, you get the plants from outside, you put them in Everclear, and you can make your own medicine with it.
Oh, now I'm Dr. Vigilante. I love this. Okay.
So I would buy some kind of an herbal book and look a little bit in your garden and have a look what you have there. And when you need it, you just put it in there for 6 to 8 weeks and you have medicine.
Plus, I'm a big believer in one of the best heavy metals that you can buy is lead. You guys fill in the blanks on the rest of it. It's a zombie apocalypse thing. That's all.
Yeah. No, if you just have gold and silver, you can't eat that. So it's better to have some of that. Now, the thing with gold and silver, there could be a problem in the future because there are people who think that gold is going to be about $5,000 for 1 ounce of gold and silver 600 to 1,000. Now, the problem with that is you cannot go to the supermarket with that and buy a cart full because, you know, there's no change for that. Now, that's where cryptos come in because you have little fractions and I'm sure more and more people are going to use cryptocurrencies. So you can buy a bread or whatever, you don't, you know. So I think that's can be a lifesaver in the future to have cryptocurrencies. So.
All right.
And then, of course, one of the important things is their freedom because banks, government, any middleman, they can't touch or stop it unless they have the codes. I was going to say that there was a couple, what was the story? Oh yeah, they had a bunch of Bitcoins and they got arrested, and apparently police or government or whoever, they got their cryptocurrencies. And that is, of course, to frighten people. But that is because they have raided their house and found the codes. If people don't have codes, they can't get to your cryptos. So I want to tell that to everybody. So, but if they do, you're lost because somebody can take all your crypto. So
yeah, you have to remember in crypto, you are your own bank. And when things go wrong and you call that customer service number, it's going to ring your cell phone and customer service is probably going to suck really, really badly because you're the one answering the phone. But so You need to be really, really careful with your keywords and that. And I'm not even going to joke about this. You need to, part of the first part of your journey is to have a notebook that is your crypto notebook, and anything that has to do with passwords, two-factor authentication, keywords, you write it down in your notebook first, so that everything, you do not type it into your computer and then save it. No, bad idea. You don't ever want to take a picture of your keywords and save it for a rainy day. No, bad idea. You want to write it down, and then you want to write it down again in another notebook to put it somewhere else you can go on Amazon and you have all of these. You can get these folder or these little cases. I have a ton of them that are fireproof, that then you can buy an engraver and engrave in case there's a fire. You can engrave your keywords in the metal. You got to go to that level, because shit happens, people, and that is your money. If you do not do that, if you just hand wave that, oh, I'll get to it, oh, whatever, and then bad things happen, man, don't do that. So you have that ounce of prevention equals a pound of cure is really, really important right now.
Yes, and I'm going into detail in the class. So you were talking of Venezuela. This is what happened in Venezuela, and this is where this is what we are heading for.
All right, what are we looking at?
All less money in the street. This is all money.
So, like, people are like,
useless money.
It's not worth carrying anymore.
No, it's not even. Well, maybe you can wipe your bum with it, but. That's probably the only thing you can do with it. Now we're heading for something like this, so it's very important to if you keep dollars, at the moment you'll lose 20. After a year, it's 20% less worth than it is today. So please don't save your money in banks or in dollars. Go into cryptos. So, but this is the future. Just thought it was a fun picture to put in my.
This is your future.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wiping my butt is important to me, so I'd probably have a bag picking that up. Because probably you can't buy any toilet paper, so might as well use the useless cash that people throw. But that's just me, guys.
Yeah. Now, this is another interesting article that I found, is that the Bank of Canada, this is the Central Bank of Canada or the Bank of Canada. So what they want to do is they want to give expiring digital currencies. So what does that mean?
Right. Jesus, this is scary.
So for instance, if you if you have debt in any way, shape, or form, you are not free. You are a slave. If you get Social Security or anything from the government, you are a slave, because they can tell you, if you want your check, then you have to get the jab, or you have to do what we want for you, what we want you to do. So you don't want any debt, you don't want any, and if you want to get out of debt, Christopher is your guy. So connect with him, destinationfreedom.org.
By the way, everybody, let me just pull it up, because I want to, what you are referring to, let me go to my channel, is I need you to go to the video, because I just interviewed Christopher, who is Liesbeth's husband. And if you go down to where it says, where are the white hats? And you see two hands holding up freedom, and the sunset in the background. That is a 2-hour interview that was one of my favorite interviews ever. I love Chris. He was amazing. That was a great interview. And I really, really encourage people to go there because it could even be life-changing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to give shout out Christopher.
Yeah. So what can happen in the future is this, that they say, okay, you're my slave. The government says you're the slave, and we give you every month, we give you so much digital currency, and then you have to spend it. Now, what does that mean? That you cannot build any financial future for yourself because if you have that for I don't know how long, but then it just expires and it's gone into thin air. So
use it or lose it.
Yes. So I mean, this is dreadful because you cannot build any life or anything like that. So make sure you don't have any debt and get out of the system in some way, shape, or form. Prepare and make sure you that you are not how you call that? I'm spacing the word. That you have to get money to survive from the government, or
you're not on welfare. You don't want to be on welfare. And they're pushing everybody to that with all kinds of nice promotion and language.
Yeah.
You will own nothing and be happy. You will own nothing and be happy.
Yes. And that is
a spell, people. It is a stupid spell.
Yeah.
Please resist it with all your might. You will never be happy owning nothing. That is just a bullshit clown Schwab spell from the World Economic Forum. And if you want to start discovering true evil, start researching the WEF.org. And everything that you go, when you research WEF.org, you just read it and you will see these flowery words, making sustainable whatever feel like it's rainbows and lollipops, when in actually it's a bend over. And let me introduce you to John Holmes, because this is getting serious, folks.
Yeah, very, very. And all these people who get these checks and they think they have it made, they are going to be in for a big surprise, because this is not free money. They are going to take something away from you at some point. So please get a job, not a job, get your own business. Be completely responsible for yourself. Make sure you have set up something. And I'm going to have a coaching program that I'm going to launch this year. It's going to be thriving in a changing world, and that's going to help you. If the shit hits the fan, if the whole world is going to fall apart around you, you are still going to thrive. I'm going to teach people how to do that.
Preach. I love it. I love it, because if people don't think the shit's going to hit the fan and you think we're a bunch of conspiratards talking about that, well, then you tell me in 2019, if somebody came up to you and said, hey, you know what? In half a year, I'll tell you, you will never leave your home unless you're given permission. And when you do, you and your kids and everybody is going to have to be masked up. You're never going to show your face, or you can't even go in and conduct commerce. Dude, in 2019, people would have said, dude, what are you smoking? But it happened. And you know what? It's all bullshit. Everything that happened was bullshit. If you still believe the mainstream narrative, I will tell you, you are under the spell. It boggles my mind that people can't see it. It boggles my mind, but there are people who can't see it. They cannot see it, and they're never going to be able to see it. And it pains me, because some are in my own family and stuff. But let me tell you, everybody, the way you end this nonsense is turn off your fucking TV. That's how you end it, because there are two worlds, the one coming through, and I'm pointing over to my corner, which is where my TV is, that is off. Or you open your eyes and go out and take a walk and take off that mask and throw it down and stomp on it and just recognize that you are responsible for the plants. What do I mean by that? Well, you know what? When God made this world, he said there's going to be an arrangement. We're going to make the plant kingdom and we're going to make humankind. And the plant kingdom is going to give the humankind oxygen. And those mouth breathers, they're going to convert that oxygen into CO2, and they're going to give it back to the plant kingdom. And then they're going to just boogie dance that way, and everybody is going to be happy. Now, what's happened the last couple of years? You haven't been holding up your end of the bargain. No, have you? Huh? You've been stingy. You haven't been sharing your O2, your carbon dioxide, I'm sorry, with the plant kingdom. And there's going to be consequences. And that consequences is your brain, your IQ is going to start going down because you're not getting enough oxygen, because the plants can't make enough, because you're not giving enough CO2. So, all right. So hold on 1 second. Epic Cash meme makers, that last 3-minute rift, you're going to do something with that. I know you are, Monk Man. I love you. Okay, sorry.
So you cannot be free if you don't take responsibility for yourself. It's impossible. You have to be responsible for every aspect of your life, your finances, your health, anything. And this whole thing, everybody says, oh, because of COVID. Bollocks. It wasn't COVID. It was the government. COVID didn't do all this to people and to the world. It was the government and all these tyrannical decisions they made. And the reason why it's going on for so long is because people comply. If you don't comply, and you do that in groups, not one person because they throw them in jail, but if you team up with groups and you don't comply, they can't throw you all in jail. So don't comply. That is the whole reason why this keeps going on. You know,
and what do we call that? Mass non-compliance, sports fans.
Yeah. Mass non-compliance. Yes,
that's what this is about.
Yeah, so be responsible, make sure you're not needing anything from the government or a job or anything like that, because you're going to be screwed in the future. Excuse my French, but...
Hey, screwed in French, I think is a different word, so you're forgiven.
Okay, now cryptos are not...
By the way, I'm looking at your screen, and yeah, see, look at that, everyone. I want to know, is that really your signature, or did you like have that done by a computer?
No, a friend of mine made that logo.
Okay, so. Okay. If that's, well, that friend of yours, I just kind of fell in love with that friend of yours, because that just is like the coolest signature I've ever seen in my life. Mine kind of sucks, but okay. Sorry, Liesbeth. Okay. Back to you.
Okay. Now, cryptos are not going away because people are still very insecure about cryptos, and that it's just a fluke or a bubble or something. But that's not true, because there's more than and this is a cool thing. There's more than 3 million crypto users worldwide, and it's growing.
How many?
Now, the cool thing
about it is more than
300 million.
Yes.
Sorry. Now, the cool thing about this is if you get into cryptos now, you are ground floor,
baby.
Because there are 7.8 billion people in the world. You are ground floor. So get into cryptos, and that's why you can make that generational wealth and that financial independence this moment.
Epic Cash.
More and more businesses to accept crypto payments. If you can look that online, I have a little slide, but that's an old one, but then you have an idea.
Okay.
The market cap is almost $2 trillion. Now, what means market cap? Market cap is the total amount of cryptos that are bought. Now, I've seen this 2.5 trillion because that's the fluctuation and the value when the cryptos go down. That means the market cap goes down too. So $2 trillion, that's not nothing. There are big, that's the next one. There's another thing. There are more than 17,600 cryptos, and this grows daily. Every time I do this presentation, I have to tweak these numbers.
Geez, 17?
17,625 or something like that.
That's crazy.
And it grows daily because last time I did this, it was like 16,000 or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this is huge. This is huge. And it's not just money, cryptos, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but the technology behind the blockchain is used for all sorts of different applications. So it's not going away anymore.
Hey, Liesbeth,
yes.
Do you know on my Epic Cash Live, Max Freeman, founder of Epic Cash, today, he made a prediction, and he has a lot of rich experience of pump and dumps. And when you take a look at these 16,500 or 17,300 or whatever, how many have pumped, dumped, not made it, gone to zero, staying at zero. But do you know by 2028 what his prediction is of how many cryptos there are going to be left standing?
I have no idea.
100.
Yeah, that's possible. Because
of the
I want to
defensive design of these cryptos, because they are not defensive design. Means you are proactive before launch of thinking about how the SEC and the governments are going to shut you down, how being regulatory compliant is first and foremost. Yet imagine if you are still censorship resistant, confiscation resistant, decentralized, permissionless, surveillance resistant, trustless, centralization resistance. It's about the defensive design. It's about the regulatory compatibility, but it all has to happen before that egg hatches. And 16,200 of the 16,300 never went through that process. So I don't know. Look, that's a prediction.
That's what I always tell people. There might be that many cryptos, but you don't just want to buy any crypto, because I've seen that with the cryptos. In the beginning, I just bought because I didn't have an idea and I didn't put much money in it. It was like buying lottery tickets for me. But you have to really research your coin, and then you don't know, because you can think, oh, it looks all well, and then the CEO runs off with the money or something. That's happened also, and you don't
or
know
the secretary
time, or whoever. Yeah. So you have to do your research. So there are a lot of
by the way, I just wanted to say that we have a hard stop at 9:00, so we have 20 minutes, which I hope is plenty to be able to get through this.
Okay. All right. Well, okay.
You're probably sitting there saying, if you stopped interrupting me, I would have been done with this an hour ago, Uncle B. Guilty.
At the end, when we have 5 minutes left, you can stream Epic for 5 minutes. So
I love you. Thank you, Liesbeth, for having a sense of humor.
Okay, so big businesses are already in cryptos or in the process of setting themselves up, and you can Google this to find out who they are. I have a list with that. You can buy a Tesla car with Bitcoin now. El Salvador has made Bitcoin their legal tender. Everybody in El Salvador got $30 worth of Bitcoin, and shops have to take it now. That means that it's legal tender. Yeah, okay. Other countries like Paraguay, Mexico, and Panama, they are in the process of making Bitcoin their legal tender as well. Now, this was a biggie. MasterCard, Visa, PayPal have adopted cryptocurrency. So what that means is worldwide spending. When I started with cryptocurrencies, I could buy them, but I had no idea how I could spend them. It was very complicated. That's not the case anymore. You can get a debit card, you put an amount of cryptos on there, and you can spend worldwide with whatever you want to buy. So that's huge. I have heard that the government is trying to start a fat coin. I wouldn't touch that with a barge pole unless I have to pay my taxes or something with that. There is a run on Bitcoin by the whales. So what are whales? Those are big businesses, billionaires, government, banks, hedge funds, and they are all into Bitcoin nowadays and other cryptocurrencies. These are two banks that actually adopted cryptocurrencies. I personally don't know them. I know that Blue Ridge Bank has an ATM, and Mellon Bank adopted cryptos. Now, I know TD Bank closes people who are in crypto. So I heard that they have actually closed bank accounts also from people who donated to the trucker. So
Yeah,
now,
that's disgusting.
yeah. Now, before, an investment portfolio held 2 to 3% worth of Bitcoin. Nowadays, it's 70 to 100% different cryptos. There are businesses, big businesses, that invest their complete finances in different cryptocurrencies. So that's huge.
Would that be Michael Saylor's company?
Yeah, he invested 750 billion or million, I think, in Bitcoin. Yeah. So that's,
I think I think that was his first investment. I think he's in the billions now.
yeah. I mean, and then you have those twins. What is the name? And
The Gustavo. What is it?
A lot of these big guys.
Wisnowski twins, or there's some.
A lot of billionaires and millionaires are all going into cryptocurrency. So yeah.
All right, somebody's going to come up. What are the name of those the owners of Gemini guys that were the guys that got screwed at Facebook? Wisnowski twins or something? I can't remember.
I don't know. Anyway, so there is 7.9 billion people in this world, and they all want Bitcoin at some point. Now, if you know that there's 21 million Bitcoin going to be, and a bunch are lost, that say there's 16 to 17 million left, and these 7.9 billion people want all Bitcoin in the future. And what is said, when you have 0.28 Bitcoin, you're going to be 1% of the wealthiest people in the crypto space. There are YouTube videos. If you type in 0.28 Bitcoin, then you get a little video on that. So you can imagine how much Bitcoin can start being more, how you say that, how much the value of Bitcoin is going to be in the future. And you are at the beginning. There's only 300 million people in cryptocurrencies at this point. So get in. This is like...
get in, get your Bitcoin. That's what you need, is your Bitcoin to convert to Epic Cash. Get in now.
So the first 3 months of COVID, crypto adoption doubled. So people are waking up.
COVID
What is
crypto.
going
I've
on?
never heard of COVID crypto. I like that.
Oh, it should be a comma, probably.
No, I like that. COVID crypto, baby. You know, I remember back when I was a COVID crypto baby.
Yeah. Now there is another group of people. These are the unbanked people
Yes.
in the world. Now this is huge. 2.5 billion people in the world are unbanked. They have
Wouldn't
no
it be
bank
great?
account.
Wouldn't it be great if those 2.5 billion people who are unbanked, if they could mobile mine on their cell phones
Yes.
and be able to mine Bitcoin to be able to do that on their mobile
Yeah.
phone? Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be cool? Well, they can't because it's 350 gigabytes for that blockchain to do that. But with Epic Cash,
Epic Cash.
you had to know you're coming onto an Epic Cash channel, and we've solved for all of this. So these are like softballs. You're talking about 2.5 billion. That's exactly who we want to serve.
Well, you need to go to find these people. You go to third world countries, and they are gonna love you. If you go with Epic Cash there, I'm sure you're gonna have a big following there. You know.
Hey, can
So,
I tell you what happened last week? Let me show you something. Yeah, I'm not going to show you because I don't want you to stop sharing your screen. But last week on our Epic Cash Friday, we were informed there is an Epic Cash community member from Western Africa who told us the story about this little boy. And I have today, I revealed it, but this, suffice it to say, you really don't want to see it, but this little 3-year-old boy has this hernia that is like, it's like,
I saw that.
Yeah, so you saw that. So we set up an Epic Cash Fund Me, or they did. And as soon as it was set up, per my commitment, I funded the surgery. And it happened. And today I was able to reveal and share the photos of post-op. This little boy had his surgery. And so these are the unbanked that we're talking about. These are the 2.5 billion. So while crypto is really, really super great and fantastic, when you think about materialistic goods and being richer than thy neighbor and all of that, you know, at the same time, the utility can be amazing. We can change.
Oh, yeah. Because you just imagine these people can't open a bank account because they have no idea. But I've been in these countries, and these people, they have a phone, and they can go to an internet cafe if they don't have a computer. And from that moment on, they're part of the world economy, which is amazing. I heard a story that was in a third world country, there was some kind of a tribe, and one person in the tribe heard about cryptocurrencies, and the whole tribe put all their $1 and $5 and all together, and that whole community is thriving now. So this is huge.
Liesbeth, let me brainstorm with you right now. You just triggered something in me. I love the idea of, now I'm going to be just focusing on Epic Cash, but Epic Cash, our community, please pay attention. I love the idea of us putting together a, you know, pay it forward execution of something as follows, like, let me buy you lunch today, or let me buy your family, let me buy groceries for your family this week, or something like that, to where honestly, you know, $20 to me on a daily basis is a rounding error, but $20 to someone who makes $1 a day or $2 a day, who supports a family, is everything. So how amazing would it be if we rallied, and if I literally could host a family somewhere overseas and be able to help them have an amazing set of meals throughout the week. Because why? Because I exercised my utter discipline to not have 4 Starbucks coffees that week. You know what I mean? I mean, that's kind of silly, but I'm dead serious when I say this. What we think is not much money can really change people's lives. So how about we change the world one family at a time through Epic Cash? Thistle, I know you've been kind of on a front line out there of being able to make this happen with Mustafa. Let's figure out how to integrate with them where we can sponsor some families, where each one of us Epic Cash holders can sponsor some families and make a difference in this world. To me, that's what this is all about. This is like, now we're talking about worldwide adoption. Now we're talking about creating a legacy of doing good, of what did Max call it? I can't find it here. But anyway, we had something earlier on today's live stream that was shit. I wish I could find it. I can't. But anyway, it's just about doing right and doing good. So I want to lay down that marker. I want the community to pick it up. Let's figure it out. You know, I know that there are a dozen people within our community that can advance that, but I personally want to sponsor a family somewhere across the world who does not have the means, that really cannot feed their family. I want to be their Uncle V who is there for them, because that will make, I don't want a tax write-off. I don't want anything. I want to do it because I can. And that's how we're going to make a difference in this world.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. All right. I don't have a lot of slides, but I think these are important. So let's talk about safety. Cryptocurrencies are safer than a bank, because a bank can do levies and fees, and you can't do anything about that. So they can just take your money and tough for you. Now, this is a serious matter. The UK, Europe, US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, they all have plans for bail-ins in the event that banks and other large financial institutions get into difficulties. Now, what that means is that everything you have over $250,000, because that's insured, they can take 50% of that. And they can take that over 250. They can get it all, and they did that in bail in Cyprus and Greece, and they took everybody 50% from what everybody had, over $250,000. So don't have your money in the bank. Only have money in the bank that you need for your bills, and that's it. Don't save in the bank, because they can take it. Then there is another thing, that's credit cards. We don't think about that, but if you give your credit card to anybody, they can take money out of your credit card. And yes, you can get it back from the bank, but it's a hassle. But people don't think about it. Then there is something like a chargeback. That means if somebody buys something or has a service, and they want to get nasty, and I had that happen to me once. A person just said, I don't like your workshops. She had 2 workshops, had all the info. I gave her extra time, and it was a thief, she just wanted to get her money back. I was like, why would she do that? She had 2 full classes, This is not possible with cryptocurrencies, because all transactions are permanent.
I just have to, I'm going to be really, really rude and interrupt, and I'm going to ask for your permission. But I think you totally have the right idea in your presentation. I just think you have the wrong coin. because BTC transactions
Yeah,
are
I know.
permanent. That negatively impacts me because that is the problem. BTC is
Well, it's
a
not just
transparent
BTC.
coin.
No,
Yeah, it's
I
the
have to
other one.
write
So one day
cryptos.
I'm going to feel complete when I see Epic Cash transactions are permanent, and I'm going to earn that from you. The day that you change that, it will only be because we've earned your respect for it, and I want to invest the time in you to be able to get you to arrive at that same conclusion. And if you never do, God bless America. That's fine. But I just would like to put the investment time in. I will commit Max Freeman's time to you and your husband to be able to onboard you and actually educate you, because I really, really have such high conviction on this that I think with your network and everything, as you're presenting this to people, when you put BTC Core in there, you're leading them into, it's like that's the wolf.
Well, the thing is, I should change this in crypto. I agree with that, but my class is about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. So, but in my privacy workshop, I do mention specific privacy coins, and I can put Epic Cash in there with no problem.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. I'm not trying to be a Uber salesman here. It's just, I have a year investment in this when I didn't go in looking for a project. But it's just where I've arrived. And because I'm interviewing you and this is my channel, I can't go to bed tonight, not because I have such conviction that when I see BTC, I get allergic to it. And so that is the only.
I agree. So after this, I'm going to change that into crypto. So
okay. That would be perfect. That would be perfect, by the way, because you're right. Crypto transactions are permanent. You cannot do a chargeback. That's correct.
But I change things all the time because then I think, I should make that a little bit different. Okay, now I have a couple more slides. Run on the bank. If there is a run on the bank, you will only, if you're quick, because the bank only has 10% cash of whatever cash you have. So that means that you don't get your money back. So it's just lost if the bank goes dead. So if you ever wish you bought Microsoft stock when it came to the market, if you bought 100 shares for 21, they would be worth. So this is 1986. You would have bought them. They would be worth $750,000 today. Just imagine if you'd have bought Bitcoin. If you bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in 2010 for 5 cents each, you would have billions now. So the chance if you invest in cryptos is huge. It's much better than.
Okay, can we stop here and just make I want to do a public service announcement here. If you bought at 5 cents each, they would have been worth now billions. If you were Nostradamus and you knew that it ultimately would get to the price it is, but what would happen and will happen and does happen and will happen with Epic Cash and any other cryptocurrency, that $1,000, you're going to get to a point to where that $1,000 is worth 100,000, and you're going to feel like you are a super investor and you're going to divest. So the lesson learned here is, you know what? You can take a little bit off the table, but do not take it all off the table. Do not declare victory and do not say, yeah, my $1,000 is worth $100,000 or $250,000. I'm rich. No, man, take 10% off. Let the rest ride. And then when it grows and grows and grows and grows, take 10% more off. And then it grows and grows and grows.
But well, what would you do with it? Because you don't want to put that back in dollars because you lose 20% per year. So
you take it off the table. You pay off your house. You pay off the house of your daughters, your sons, whatever. You put it to good use. You invest in something that will start delivering revenue to you on a monthly basis. Perhaps you buy some homes that are rental properties. I don't know. You're in competition with BlackRock now because they're buying up everything. So that's going to be kind of tough. But the bottom line is, I just want to state, just so that we both have credibility here, you can say that you could invest 5 cents each. You could buy $1,000 worth and you'd be worth billions now, but that's against human nature. We need to qualify it and ground it and say not a single person in this world would have ever held unless they just absolutely had dementia and they forgot about it, because
I don't believe that. There's tons of hodlers who would never sell their cryptos. They don't.
Tons of what?
They don't sell hodlers.
Oh, 100%.
They don't sell their cryptos. I'm a hodler myself.
But that isn't necessarily the right strategy, because it's a bumpy ride up. True. And there have been so many cryptos that have gone all the way down and nobody took a little bit off the table and now they're worth nothing. So because we don't know the future,
that's true.
My message is that you should never be afraid of taking some off the top and getting your basis out at some point in time.
Yeah, just what you invested, and then it doesn't really matter after that.
You can invest it in gold. You can invest it in silver. You can invest it in food. You can invest it in 5 acres outside the city where you plant some food, so that when the shit hits the fan, you actually have some food. So
good investment.
Yeah. So just because I think when people see that, they're like, okay, anybody can be histrionic. Anybody can go back in time and say, if you invested just $1,000 in Amazon stock and you never sold it, you would be worth X amount today. But that just doesn't happen. That's not reality. So really I believe what we want to do.
I know a lot of people who've done this. I'm not saying they have billions, but they definitely don't have to work anymore. Here in New Hampshire, there's a ton of people like that. So
they don't have to work anymore. But along the way, if those people who don't have to work anymore, I presume at some point they took enough off the table to pay off their mortgage to be able to get debt free. Because isn't that really the message here? Let's all get debt free however we can. And then let's let our investments ride in coins that are surveillance proof. Yes. So we're on.
I agree with you. So, but
we're on this.
That's not really. But a lot of people think they missed the boat because Bitcoin. But there is so many other coins that you can invest in, and you can make your fortune in less than 25 years. So So these are companies, and you can Google that take Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Overstock, that was the first one. Subway, Microsoft, Virgin, Expedia, and there's many more. So the Home Depot and Craigslist, you can buy stuff on Craigslist for cryptocurrencies as well. There are people here in New Hampshire that buy cars with cryptocurrency. I'm trying to go a little fast now.
Mm-hmm.
And houses, that happens here too. Our freedom community all have cryptocurrencies and they work with it. So now this is a question, and I made a slide for that. What if we lose electricity? No, people are not going to sit and wait till the government puts back on the electricity. People have all sorts of ways to get electricity, but only one computer in the whole network has to stay online. And I'm sure there's a billionaire who has a cave somewhere that is secure for that money. And people don't realize that when there's no power, there are no banks either. So
that is your money shot right there. I read that and I'm like, beautiful. Bingo, you nailed it.
Then there is a question that people's wallets are empty out. Well, I already talked a little bit about that. They cannot empty your wallet out if they don't have your code. So somehow they must have gotten codes from
That's
people
right.
and got their wallet.
Now, another public service announcement. Anybody watching right now, if you want the super secret way to be able to protect your codes, just email theunclevigilante@gmail.com. Email your codes, and I'm going to put them in my little protective safe. That's such a joke. I'm kidding you, everyone. Do not do that. But there may be somebody that actually tells you that and means it.
Yeah,
Never give up your codes.
Anyway, so there's another thing. You never, ever, ever want coins on exchanges. Sometimes people do trading and they have a little bit of coins. That's okay. They could lose that. But hackers don't go for your laptop or your phone. They go for exchanges. So that's why you never want coins on exchanges.
Okay, can I stop that and just unpack that a little bit? So it's the law of big numbers. So if you are a hacker, right, and you have a lot of people who just hit the easy button, they're like, you know what, I bought some coins on Coinbase and that's cool. They got to be secure. They're really secure. I'm not going to go through the hassle of getting these coins off the exchange onto a cold storage wallet. No, we're cool. Well, guess what? Are these hackers going to invest their time to try to figure out, little old you, how to be able to get through your, no,
they don't.
Don't, do they, Liesbeth?
No, it takes too much time, and then they come in your wallet, and maybe you have $10 worth of stuff in there. That's not worth it. But they do go to exchanges. That happen sometimes, and you don't want any coins on exchanges. So take them out, put them in your wallet. And there are scammers everywhere. In cryptos, but in dollars too. So don't let anybody tell you that it's for a criminal circuit or anything like that.
Have I ever told you about this Egyptian prince I once knew? Remember the Egyptian prince that used to go around that was like, hey, I have $1 million that I'm trying to get out of the country, but all I need is $500 for the wire transfer. I'll send it to you.
And these emails you get.
Yeah. Well, now I will tell you that I was so suspicious of Mustafa with this little boy with his hernia that I went through due diligence before ever actually sending this person some Epic cash, because I smelled a rat but went through the due diligence, and indeed it was real. But I just want everyone, you should always auto hoax everything. Anybody that says in a DM to you, hey, look, just want to let you know, we're suspecting that there's been a breach on Coinbase and we just need to re-verify some things. Can you make up your imagination? There are a lot of smart people out there who want your money. With crypto, you are your own bank. So if you screw up, you lose your money. There's no toll-free 800 number.
You are responsible for your own money. So that's the same with, but it gives you the freedom. So you're responsible, you get the freedom. So that's how everything works.
Now, this taxes page is probably the most important.
Yes, that's why I wanted to finish, because I'm almost done. But
yes.
So when you are a federal
I love you, by the way,
citizen,
for putting up with me. I love you for putting up with me. I'm so sorry that I am who I am.
That's okay. If you just let me finish, I'm good. So
I will.
When you are a federal citizen, you are liable for income tax over the gains of your cryptos. If you don't do that, you are going to go to jail if they find out. So please. Now, my husband helps people to change their citizenship. And you are, how you say that, you are not liable for income tax anymore. So if you have cryptos, that's a great way to go, but you need to be a freedom guy and not just do it for,
All right.
you
How
know,
do people
your-
contact your husband? Because yes, I
Go
spent
to
2 hours with him.
Yes.
He's awesome.
destinationfreedom.org. And every Wednesday evening, most of the time, but that's on the website, he has a free conference call, and he's online, and you can ask him all the questions, and he tells you about his work, and you can ask all the questions that you want. destinationfreedom.org.
Please, please, please go watch the interview that I did of him. It's like 2 videos below, and it says freedom. So go watch that. The guy is a savant, and he knows his SHIT, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, let's go to workshops.
Okay, so I have 2 workshops. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency made easy and private. That is the beginners workshop. And the second workshop, cryptos from public back to private. Now, the first one is next Saturday. And the cryptos from public to private is it's on Friday at 2 o'clock. And the one after that, the public to private, is on the Friday after that at 2 o'clock. Now you go to sourcetransformation.org. That's my website. And when they're rebuilding my website, but go there and there's a pop-up and give me your email address. So you're on my list. So you get the information about the cryptocurrencies, but also my other work, because I'm working on books, ebooks, coaching, all sorts of stuff that are going to empower your life. And there's mind-boggling information in my work. So, Now, I also have on Destination Freedom, I have a crypto page, but you can't sign up on my email list when you go there. But Source Transformation. Also, you can register on Source Transformation. You go to the crypto link in the top corner, and you see workshops, and you can register there if you want.
Okay.
I have a Telegram group, Liesbeth with Source Transformation. And this is my email address, email@sourcetransformation.org. And when you send me an email, please put your phone number in there, because I like to talk with people. I don't like all this messaging. I'm old school. So then I can call you. Or maybe if it's just a short thing, then I send you.
Excellent. Okay, so we have, back up one slide. All right, so we have website, sourcetransformation.org. And then we have destinationfreedom.org.
That's Christopher's work.
That's Christopher's website, which you really want to watch the video or the interview I did with him. And then you can find Liesbeth, which is Liesbeth with Source Transformation. So that's what you would type in for Telegram. Now, from an email standpoint, it's info at sourcetransformation.org. And when you send an email, please include your phone number so that she can chat with you. Now, she does, spirit of full disclosure, when she gets drunk on Saturday nights, she does like to auto dial those in her database. But that's okay, because she has a great accent. And I'm kidding, everybody. Look at her signature. I mean, that is nothing but classy. She does not auto phone you. Okay.
Don't worry.
All right. Do we have another page? Yeah, I think we do.
Questions.
Okay. I don't know if we have, you know what, in the spirit of full disclosure, go back one slide. I want everyone to subscribe to Liesbeth with Source Transformation. Go to the Telegram, that because our community is the total Telegram community, and I know my peeps. They're not one. We're not going to get a lot of questions right now. The way that we do that is we pre-promote it to where we ask for questions up front, and I really suck at engaging with my chat because I try to give my guests the most attention. So anybody out there who wants to raise their hand, what I've been thinking about lately is if there's somebody who is willing to just hang in there from the beginning of one of my shows to the end, and when they see questions, if you could collect them, and I think it would be cool at the very end, like right now, if I could say, okay, let's get the questions. And instead of me having to go back and find any questions, then there could be one single person who I could count on week to show, who could then just deliver them and then ask. And so that would be really cool because I am a one-man band and I suck at chat. I suck at paying attention to the chat. So I'm going to punt on the questions, Liesbeth. I hope you don't mind.
It's fine.
I am going to direct them to Liesbeth, Liesbeth with Source Transformation. That is the Telegram. Please go join and engage, because I learned a ton tonight. And
oh, you did. That's cool. I was hoping that you liked it.
No, I loved it. I loved it. This takes me back to the days of the origin of my show, which is all about crypto for newbies. And there's so much information here that you provided that is rich. And look, there's a lot. I'm at a point right now to where I probably know as much or more than 50% of the world of crypto. Yeah. Certainly not more than that. There's so many people that understand DeFi and bridges and all of this crap. I don't, but I know I pretty much know the basics, you know. Yeah. But I love that I know the basics, and I know that it's a grind to be able to get there. And people don't get into crypto because it's overwhelming. So the fact that there's a resource like you who can take the cookies from the top shelf down to an accessible level, I admire that so much. I love it.
It was a ton of research, and most people don't have time to do that.
Yes.
It's all on internet eventually, but it's just, I have a friend, he's a pilot. He's a smart guy. He was sick. He had lots of time to research it. And he said, I have researched it and researched. I cannot put it together. And then, so I helped him with that. So I did put it together, and I am helping people.
I admire that.
Into crypto. So
I admire that. And it's desperately needed.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be able to promote you and your husband and the work that you guys do.
Thank you.
And I issue the invitation for you guys to get to understand Epic Cash at a deeper level, so that maybe with your communities, you might become as big a fan of us as we are of you, because I think we are part of the solution. I really do.
Oh, sorry. I thought you. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Do you have more in your presentation, or?
No, I just wanted. I hope I see you all at the class, at the workshops next week and the week after. So,
will you do me a favor? Will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Will you join t.me/epic cash? t.me/epic cash. That's our community.
Okay.
And would you please come in and just say hello? And
that's Telegram.
That's Telegram. Yeah. So it's Epic Cash. If you put in Epic Cash, say hello to our community, and please feel free to drop any links in there at all.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I mean, literally weekly. If you're doing one weekly, just feel free to drop in and say, hey, everyone, just want to let you know doing another workshop, feel free to come in or whatever. That please, our community is your community.
Thank you.
And because I really, 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 really respect and love what you and your husband are doing on two different fronts and want to support it. And that's the best way, is if it just to get engaged with our community. My show, this show, it's a one and done, right? Some people may go back to it, but if you engage in the community and just say hello and say, come on in and come on over, we are rapidly growing. And the fact is, because we were chosen by Jonathan Sanger and Mars Callahan to become the cryptocurrency that is going to be part of the show Trillions, adoption is going to be massive of Epic Cash. So we're not a bad community to be a part of at this point. Yeah.
Okay, I'll sign up there, and
Okay.
I would love if you want me to do my other work, thriving in a changing world, the presentation for that at some point, if you want me to. So that's mind-boggling for most people.
No, that would be great. Let's circle up and figure out when we can get that on. I know that this next week is going to be.
I need a little bit of time because I'm preparing everything.
Okay.
So I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know. But my commitment is yes. I would love to have you on again. All right.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate the evening with you.
Thank you.
And everyone in the chat, thanks for coming in. And thanks for, we just have the best community ever. I love you all. So, okay, Liesbeth, I wish you a incredible weekend, and your husband, Chris.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.